I'm going to give you one of the most incredible clues I've given you all day long. Shoaff said, it's very simple, Mr. Rohn. Here's all you have to do. Work harder. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Wow. That phrase changed my life. If you would have known me at age 25, here's what you would have said. Mr. Rohn's a hard worker. Yes. I was a hard worker on my job. And what did that get me? A living. It got me a living. Shoaff said, now, Mr. Rohn, the next years of your life, what I will teach you is how to go to work, not just on your job. I'll teach you how to go to work on yourself and make yourself much more valuable to the marketplace. And he said, you won't believe the change in income. You won't believe the change in promotion. You won't believe the change in fortune. He said, you can have all you want because you can work on yourself as much as you want. He said, here's the secret. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. I invite you on such a journey. Now here's the next part. Personal development not just for economics. Personal development for your family. Personal development for your contribution to the country. The best contribution you can make to someone else is your own personal development. Become better than you are and stronger than you are and wiser than you are and more skilled than you are and more disciplined than you are. Think of what a treasure that will be for your wife and for your husband and for your children and for your family. Personal development is the best contribution you can make. Unique things said about God. Unique things said about God. One writer said this, His arm is not short. What a simple set of words to give us an incredible picture. Be reassured what? God's arm is not short. You cannot think of anything more pitiful than a God with a short arm. So short couldn't what? Reach all the way. So short what? Couldn't reach everybody. This writer said, no, no, no. You do not have to worry about that. God's arm is not short. Not only can He reach all the way, He can reach everybody. What an incredible thing to be able to say about God. Shouldn't we be able to say that about every father? His arm is what? Not short. He can reach all of His children. His arm is not short. He can reach all the way. He's got a library second to none. He's got stories to illustrate any point He wants to. He's not short on reach. Allstate Insurance says it well, what? You're in good hands. Shouldn't that be well said of everybody? They've got good hands. Don't worry about the kids that go to this school. With the teacher they've got in that school, those kids are in good hands, hopefully. Don't worry about the kids that belong to this family. With those kind of parents, these kids are in good hands. Don't the rest of the countries of the world say, don't worry about Americans. With the people they've elected to office, they're in. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Strive to develop the best hands you can develop. Hands that can touch, hands that can comfort, hands that can weave lifestyle second to none. Develop a long reach and a long arm. Guess what all this is called? Personal development. Personal growth. Becoming better than you are. And now here's the ultimate. We talk more about this on the weekend, but here is the ultimate. Don't settle for less than you can be. If you can be richer than you are, don't settle for less. If you can be stronger than you are, don't settle for less. If you can be more well-read than you are, don't settle for less. If you can develop more skills than you've got, don't settle for less. Strive, strive. One ancient script says, strive for perfection. It doesn't mean you may ever reach it, but the striving is what's important. Why? To be better this year than you were last year. To be better with the vocabulary this year than last year, words of language that have power this year versus empty words last year. I'm asking you to become better than you are step by step, day by day, year by year, book by book, treasure by treasure. Personal development. Isn't this good stuff? I'm telling you, this kind of talking changed my life at age 25. I've never been the same. Since I got this put in such simple form, a farm boy from Idaho could understand it without pyramids and crystals. Now, here's the last subject before we take our break. Setting goals. Setting goals is a very simple practice. Mr. Shoaff taught me when I was 25. Revolutionized my life, learning how to set goals. Here's how simple goal setting is. Now, forget all the silly stuff on goals. You don't need to visualize. You don't need to anchor. You don't need to focus. That's all too silly. Kids can't learn that. The stuff I want, make it so simple, kids can learn it. Anybody can understand it. The teenagers can get it. I figure I've got it made. Here's how easy it is to set goals. Number one, decide what you want. Take a little time and a little thought. Decide what you want. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to see? What do you want to have? What kind of health do you want in the next 5 years? The people you want to meet. Where do you want to go? What kind of experiences would you like to have? What kind of promotions do you want? What kind of income do you want? Just take a little thought sometime. Make a little list. What do you want? Sit down with your wife. What do we want? Sit down with the family. What do we all want? What do we each want? What do we all want? Sit down with your business colleagues. Say, where are we going? What do we want? A little exercise here. Decide what you want. Here's the next key. Write it down. Just make a list. Here's the health goals I want. Here's what I want to give away. Here's the projects I want to support. Here's the things I want to own. Here's the properties. Here's the income. Here's the promotions. Here's my benevolence. Here's all the stuff. This is it. Number one, decide what you want. Number two, write it down. Here's number three. Keep the old lists. Because you're going to constantly make new lists and keep the old lists. Here's why. To see how you've grown. One of the best ways to see your own personal development and your own personal growth is to keep the old list of goals while you're making new lists. I look back now on goals I set 10 years ago, I smile. Here's what I thought was so important 10 years ago. I'm telling you, it isn't even in first place anymore. It's way down the list. Here's what's important to me now. My priorities have changed. Why? I've become better educated in the last 10 years than I was 10 years ago, and my goal lists prove it. So, number three is keep the old lists. I go back 20 years ago, list of goals, say, my gosh, here's what I thought would really do it for me. And I smile. Wow. I was in the first grade back here. Gosh. So if you got that number three, keep the old list. Now here's number four. When you get something on your list, check it off. When I went to Spain for the first time, landed in Madrid, when the wheels touched the runway, I happen to have that journal because I keep my goal list in my journal. I happen to have that journal that had that list of goals. Go to Spain. When the wheels touched the runway, I checked it off. Got it. Now guess what else I've learned to do? Put a whole lot of little things on my list so I get to check off something every day. Got it. And that's it. That's the simple art of setting goals. Now put serious things on your goal list. Important things, frivolous things, little things, special things. Doesn't matter what it is. It's your list. On my first list of goals, I had some revenge on my first list. Some of the people who said I couldn't do it, they went on my list. Budget finance, who threatened to come get my car, drag it rear end down the street in front of my neighbors. They went on my list. Budget finance. Some revenge. So it doesn't matter as long as it's important to you. Put it on your list. Might be frivolous to someone else, but not to you. My Japanese friend, Toro Ikeda, up in San Jose, put on his first list, a Caucasian gardener. Wow. I like that. That's how simple it is.
Thanks for listening to Success Talks. Catch every Success Talks via iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast streaming app. And of course, you can always find each talk and the full audio at success.com/successtalks. Stream and download your favorite talks today. And while you're there, sign up to receive the free newsletter, Inside Success, to get great ideas, inspiration, and quotes delivered to your inbox every week. Success Magazine Audio, copyright 2017 by Success. All rights reserved.